Oh, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
screw dental health. At this point, I'm considering just having my all my teeth pulled out and just getting dentures because this is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Pull a George Washington.
Yeah, no, because I got one tooth done. Uh, and I have a temporary crown. I have to get the permanent crown next Monday. And that's the original one that got work done on it. The very first one that was messing with me is still in my mouth and is very much not doing good. But I don't have money to get it taken care of yet. And because I switched jobs last month, uh, I don't get insurance until May. So I've basically been paying
Oh.
out of pocket. But because I can't pay out of pocket, I had to take out loans. So I'm paying off loans while also trying to get my teeth situation figured out. I'm almost done with all my fillings, which is good. But one of the fillings that was worked on, uh, they said that it was really deep and basically was steps away from needing a root canal. And now I can't eat on that tooth because it has the same symptoms of the teeth that I got of the tooth that I had the root canal on. So now I can't eat on my left side anymore. So I'm back to square one, not square one, but I'm back to eating with just my front teeth again until I can get my right tooth worked on at least. Um, and I need to get I don't know, get an X-ray or something so I could see if that left tooth does need a root canal. But like I went back on Friday, no, Thursday. Was it Thursday? Friday? I think it was
Uh,
Friday.
uh,
I don't remember. But I went back and like they did tests on my teeth and like they gave me like a really thick piece of cotton swab to chew on. Nothing, no problem. They gave me a piece of wood to chew on, no problem. I'm chewing on food, problem.
it maybe it's like heat and cold.
It's not even hot or cold stuff that does it though, is the weird part. But I don't know, and I figured out it's only whenever I eat on the inner half of my tooth, but it's like, why didn't this show up at the dentist's office? Because now I feel like a fool.
Ah, yeah, you just gotta go back. That's how they get you.
Yeah, well, I already, I took a half day last week, and then I was late another day to go back to the dentist's office last week, so I'm just gonna wait it out and see if maybe my tooth is just inflamed or something still, because I'm gonna be going back in a week. And if it doesn't get any better, I'm gonna see if they can look at it again, maybe take some X-rays and figure out if it does need a root canal or if it just needs to be filled differently or something.
Man, maybe you
I
should
don't
do what they
know.
did back in the day. You tie a string
I'm
to your
not pulling my
tooth,
tooth out.
then you tie it to the door handle, and you
I'm not pulling out my
slam the
tooth.
door.
I'm not, hear me out, pulling it. I might do that for this right one though, because this one is the one that's actually causing problems, and I think it's causing gum problems now.
Ooh, yeah,
Uh,
that stuff can turn bad quick.
yeah, and I've had this tooth like this for shit, I don't even know. I think it's been about a year now. And it's reached a point to where the tooth is dead. Like, the nerves in it are dead. And
Man,
that's no bueno,
yeah.
because that's when, like, peak infection can happen, and so I'm trying to prevent that from getting worse, but because I don't get insurance until May, I'm not it's not looking like I can do that until May. So I
The
gotta tough it
American
out for
healthcare
longer.
system. I guess healthcare in general,
Yeah,
that is rough.
especially in America.
Yep. That's why when I got sick, I was like, I'm done. I'm not
Yeah.
insured.
Literally, the only reason why I even got why I'm getting my teeth worked on is because it got to the point to where it was so much pain and unbearable that I needed to get it looked at and figured out.
Yeah.
But like, I think I got my very first like they looked at my tooth for the first time back in about a year ago now, actually. Because it was while I was on my last job, it was several months in, and I know it was before, I think it was last May, actually, was when I originally got my tooth looked at, and I was hoping that it wouldn't be too expensive, and I went to this one place, and they're like, "Yeah, it's gonna cost, like, $3,000 to get this root canal done on these 2
Hmm.
teeth."
Mhm.
Because we're like, "Yeah, this one's bad, and this one's gonna be looking like it's gonna." Because the original tooth was the one they're like, "Yeah, you need a root canal," and the one behind it we're gonna probably have to root canal that one too because it's turning into the same issue. And so I was like, yeah, $3,000, and I was like, I don't have that money, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna die. Uh, and then I ended up going to a dental school over at the school, thankfully, and so it was definitely cheaper. And they took X-rays on both sides because at that point both teeth were issues. Um,
Hmm.
but they didn't say that the second tooth, that the first group said needed a root canal, needed one. They just said that the original tooth needs a root canal. Uh, so it's
Were
like,
they
were they
were
just
they
trying to?
right, or are you now
I don't know.
experiencing
I
the
haven't.
fallout from that?
So okay, wait. So my right tooth, that's the original one. The
Okay.
left tooth happened during summertime as I was chewing gum. A piece of my tooth fell off.
Right.
Uh,
Yep.
and that one was fine for a while, and then that one just slowly became a hole in my tooth, and that one was causing me all the problems, pain wise, because at that point the original tooth had stopped hurting because the nerves basically died.
Okay.
Um, and so the original tooth is still here. I haven't got that one worked on because the thought process for them was this tooth that is hurting you, we should get that one fixed first. At the endodontist, the ones who did the root canal, said, "Let's get that tooth done first. That way you can eat on this side, and also the nerves are still alive here." And then
They
they
didn't
did the
want you
root.
just existing on a liquid smoothie diet?
Yeah, I mean, I listen. I love smoothies. I could do a smoothie diet. I just need the materials to do the smoothies,
I
and
guess
then
that's
I'm
fair,
solid.
yeah.
But they ended up having to do the root canal on the tooth anyways. So like, what they said didn't really make sense because, oh no, they said we're gonna work on this tooth because it's causing you pain uh currently. Because they were like, there's no sense in us working on the tooth that's already dead right now, just because this one's hurting you, and if we work on the one that's dead, that one's fine or whatever, you get that one done, you're still gonna be in pain from the second one.
Right, yeah.
So they worked on the second one. They did the root canal. I got the temporary crown on. I'm getting the permanent crown next week. That tooth's gonna be done. The original tooth that was originally causing problems, still in my mouth, no feeling in it, but my gums around it are constantly inflamed. There's times where like parts of my gum bubble up, and I think that's from like a tooth abscess, which not good thing. I think that is,
Sheesh.
I think that is a that's the infection winning, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's the next one I'm trying to get done. And once that gets done, uh, well, I'm hoping that I can get the first tooth done, and then the new third tooth that got worked on recently that's been causing me problems. If that one needs to get done, I can get them both done at the same time. So then it's like, cool, got those two teeth done. Let me get them both capped on, or get both crowns on at the same time.
Hmm.
So then it's like, okay, cool, got those on. Those are good. No more teeth problems for now. And from
But you have to
here,
wait until May to get all this finished?
theoretically,
Mhm.
I probably could take out another loan for it, but I'm trying to pay off the one. The biggest one right now is for the endodontist that did the root canal, because that one I was doing in payment, 2 monthly payments, and paying half of it each time. So I already paid the first half. The second half is due next month in like I think 2 weeks. So I'm gonna pay that off, and then I'm hopefully, or I'm gonna see if I can go there, get a consultation, and then be like, hey, how much is this gonna be? Can I talk to that third party company and try to get another loan? Because I think
Hmm.
I've been like pre-approved for a certain amount of money already, and so if I can get that done before May, I absolutely will.
Okay, fair enough.
But money wise, it would be better if I waited until May. But
Yeah.
like health wise, I need to get this done ASAP.
Yeah. Does it smell?
Um, I can't really tell because I don't have smell receptors in my mouth.
Right. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
But like I don't think it's like makes my teeth or my breath smell terrible,
Yeah.
like halitosis or
Got,
anything.
like,
Or there,
gangrene in there.
yeah, but there is times where like I can taste the decay,
Oh.
but it's not like it sounds bad because it is, but it's not as bad as you think it is. It's not to the point to where it's like, oh my god, this is terrible. It mostly just kind of tastes like if you have like plaque buildup in your mouth for too long. That's just kind of what
Okay.
it tastes like.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it doesn't taste like death, because that would suck. And you don't smell it because I keep my teeth clean. I brush my teeth a lot more and
Yeah.
whatnot. I'm trying to take care of myself a lot better.
Yeah,
Um,
what's the message to the kids here?
Kids, please brush your teeth. Please floss. Take care of yourself. Because all of my problems, I did brush my teeth semi regularly as a kid, but I never flossed, and that's where all of my cavities became or came from was between my teeth. Because for me, my teeth are very tightly packed together, so food gets stuck in there very often.
Uh,
And I would just leave it as a kid because I didn't care. And now I hate myself as a kid for that.
so
So please
I
take
think,
care of yourself.
yeah, I think it's brush twice a day, floss at least once a day,
Yeah.
and then swish, use that mouthwash stuff.
I don't have mouthwash, but I need to get some of that. But that's mostly just for like your breath, more than anything.
I think they make a couple of well, they do make some that, like, kill bad breath stuff, but
Oh yeah,
at
and
least the one that I
bacteria.
have is because 'cause I'm still on the whitening journey,
Yeah.
so I have just a whitening one that's supposed to help.
I'm not worried about whitening my teeth at the moment, just because that's
Yeah,
not priority.
you gotta make sure you've got some to
See, I got some
whiten.
teeth to whiten. Yeah. But yeah, take care of yourself, please. Your future self is gonna appreciate you for it. Don't take it for granted. I will say this is me being petty. I should have taken I should have listened to my mother's warnings as a kid because I
Mhm.
remember my mom said that my dad never really took care of his teeth, and by the time he was 18, every time they would kiss, all she tasted was blood.
Oh! Ah!
And his teeth are falling out by that time too. So like I'm already doing better in that regard,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Turning this franchise around.
yeah, breaking generational trauma type shit.
Yep.
I'm also not bald.
Well, there you
Well,
go. That's a
I'm
double win.
balding, but
I recently watched, like, a video where they interviewed 100 people aged, like,
mhm,
1 to 100. They're like, "What do you regret?" I think that was the question that they were asking,
yeah.
and there was at least 3 people, 30, 40, 50 plus that were like, "I wish I had taken care of my teeth at a younger age."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yep, copy that. Hearing what you're going through and being I mean, you just explaining that to me now, I
Listen,
feel self-conscious. Like
listen,
my gums hurt."
I've been through some pain before. I have. There's nothing
Uh-huh.
more painful than nerve damage,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and nerve pain specifically,
Yep.
especially when there's nothing you can do about it. Honestly, hold on. That first place I went to to get my teeth checked out, screw them. Because no, listen. Because I went to them
Uh-huh.
and they were like, "Yeah, it's good thing you came to us when you did." Because if because it's clearly not like a constant pain thing, which is good. Because once it gets to the point to where it's a constant pain, there's nothing we can do to numb the pain,
Oh, yeah.
and people have to get root canals done like they can try to numb you up, but it's not gonna help. And I think if you remember Finding Nemo, whenever they do like the dental work on people and like people were screaming and shit,
Right.
that's what I imagine it being like.
Oh, yeah.
But lucky for me, they can numb me really well. They numb me up pretty good. Uh I will say the worst part of dental it's not really I don't know if it's considered dental surgery, but I mean I guess a root canal would be dental surgery since they're
Yeah,
literally
I think
digging
that
into your bone or
mhm.
your tooth. They pull out your nerves in root canals if you didn't know.
Yeah.
And let me
It's
tell you,
mm,
I didn't know that's what they pulled out, but like, they were going in, they were doing their thing, and they pulled out like this white string, and I was like, "What is that?" I don't know. And then later that night, I was just looking at like root canals and like watching the videos because I didn't really actually know what they were doing.
sure, yeah.
But pretty much they go in, they drill out your tooth, they pull out all the pulp in there, and inside the pulp is the nerves. So they pull all of that out, they fill it up, they put some sticks in there to help for like support. They fill all that up, and then they like fill it all up with like the filling stuff. But it is brittle, so you need to get the crown on it so it doesn't break or crack or anything. And then also because you don't have any filling in your tooth anymore, you don't know if that tooth is doing good or bad or if it's infected or anything.
Did you looked it up afterwards?
Yeah.
Would you rather know before the surgery what they're gonna do to you?
I mean, for me, I don't think. it would have bothered me as much, just because my thought process is, if this is gonna stop the pain, I don't care what you do.
I guess that's fair.
If this was me like years ago, absolutely. But like,
Absolutely, you would want to know?
I would want to know, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But like realistically, if the way I explain it to people is a root canal is just a more complicated tooth filling, because it is.
Sure. Yeah.
Because filling, when you get your teeth filled, or when you get fillings in your teeth, they drill into your tooth, and then they get rid of all the infected area, and then they fill your tooth back up. That's all a root canal is, except they just pull out everything inside. It's not terrible. It's not scary. It wasn't even painful, obviously, because I was numbed up.
Yeah.
Um, but
That was always the scariest part for me is when they shot your gums with
I
that.
will tell you, outside of,
Oh,
just the
pain.
genuine pain, the general pain of, having a pain in my teeth,
Yeah.
that's the shots is the worst part, because I don't know if they're actually like stabbing your jaw, like the bone,
That's
but
what it
like
feels
you
like.
can feel it in there, and
Mhm.
when they're pumping you full of stuff, that's when the pain really hits. Um, I think the worst part for me is they did that, but like they were moving it around while they did it. And so it wasn't just like they were just shooting one spot, they were moving it around, and like it was bad. I think the worst thing though, was at the endodontist when they were doing the root canal, because they gave me, I think, 5 shots. By the 4th one, I was already feeling numb on the left side of my mouth,
Yeah.
but because I felt numb, it was weird, and I hated it because, like, when you feel numb, you're feeling your body parts with the parts that aren't, and you're like, "This feels weird because I don't
Uh-huh.
feel it," so it feels very different, and I kept biting my cheek throughout the day because I had to force myself to stop, because it was like I was just chewing on something, and I was scared I was gonna bite my cheek off. Like, for real. Cause like, if you do it normally, you have pain receptors there. You feel, "Ow, that hurts."
Yeah.
When you're numb, you don't feel that. You're like, "This is a weird texture. Oh, let me stop doing that."
You're making me
But
really squeamish right now.
oh, this is probably the worst thing. But yeah, the 4th part, or by the 4th shot, my cheek was numb, and so by the 5th one, they were doing it. I didn't feel it,
Mhm.
but I heard it,
Oh.
and that was probably the grossest part, was hearing them putting the needle into my cheek, and you moving it around in there.
Oh. I would
Cause
rather they just knock me out. Just hit me in the head with a hammer, I will wake up in the hospital and be done. That is awful. Oh my god.
yeah, it was an experience.
And you ain't done yet, huh?
No.
God
I
in
mean,
heaven.
I've done it once already, so like I'm not gonna say I'm nullified to it, but like the last several times I went to the dentist to get my fillings in, it wasn't nearly as bad. Whenever they shot me up, thank God.
Mhm.
Cause like the first time I went to get the fillings, I was literally gripping onto the handle, or the arms of the thing I was laying on, and squeezing for dear life by like the second shot, because I was in so much pain. I literally started crying, like tears from both my eyes started coming down
Yeah,
because it was a
yeah.
lot of pain. They're like, "Hey, we're almost done. We're almost done." And the nurse was like, "Just take deep breaths, relax your shoulders." And in my mind, I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? How am I supposed to do that? I'm dying right now."
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, not
Oh
fun times.
god. This is why
Uh,
people hate the dentist. This is why I hate the dentist.
yeah.
I can't even hear stories about it without I'm like folding up over here.
Hey,
Oh,
if it makes you feel better, you didn't live it, so
yeah. Yep. And now you've just put another fear into my head that I'm
yeah.
gonna
I will
have to
say, like,
someday.
as a kid, like they would do like the laughing gas on me instead.
I wish.
Uh,
Why don't they do that anymore? Is it bad for your brain? I mean,
I don't
people huff
know.
that for fun.
I don't, but I
I would
think.
huff it. Not for
Oh
fun,
boy,
maybe, but
this guy.
if I
But like
needed the
they don't do that to like they do that so whenever they do put the needle in, it helps you not notice it.
Ah,
Because it's not meant, I don't think it's meant to be like a substitute for the anesthesia or whatever, I think it's Novocaine, whatever it is. I don't
yeah.
know, the morphine something. It's a big word, but I think it's not a substitute for it. It's just meant to help them get that in there if you're, like, really nervous about it. But also, that was when I was a kid, and I don't know, maybe it's just, like, something I didn't pay for or whatever, but
Oh,
good
maybe.
golly, Miss Molly, it
Yeah.
I gotta go. I only have 3 more fillings left, which
Only
is good.
3?
Only 3 left.
Yeah?
I started with 11. But all the fillings left are on the right side, and it's around the tooth that is dead. Um,
Oh,
and it's not surprising just because I haven't eaten on my right side in over a year.
that's yeah, that's like a daily problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it is.
that's yeah, I always see in, like, media, right, they always make fun of people that wanna do natural births.
Mm-mm.
I I think you go for the numbness. You go,
If
"Give
I
me
was a
everything."
woman and I was giving birth, numb me the fuck up. I'm not giving a natural birth. Nothing. Absolutely not.
Oh my god.
Because they say, giving birth is one of the most excruciating pains you'll feel in your entire life. And
Yeah,
women already go through terrible pain with their periods.
that's true, yeah.
And like
Just, yeah.
I know
Well,
women who have
technically
like severe like things whenever they go through their
yeah,
periods to
like
the point,
cramping and stuff, yeah.
yeah, to where it's gets to a point to where it's quite literally debilitating and they can't get out of bed.
Yeah. But
So
technically,
giving
I would say
birth,
yours is worse every day having to deal with it.
well, it's not that bad just because it's not an everyday thing. It's not everyday, bro.
It's
For
not every
me, outside of the tooth that got worked on fully,
Yeah.
I'm not really in pain, except out for the new one. Whenever I eat is whenever that's pain, and then for the
Mm.
original one, it's only like gum. Like it'll randomly like swell up gums and stuff, and like inflame and do stuff underneath the gums, and like it'll be like annoying, but it's not nerve pain.
Oh, okay, yeah.
S but yeah, the new tooth that's been acting up, that is absolutely nerve pain. Whenever it gets, I don't wanna say triggered, but whenever the nerve pain gets triggered, it's like I've never been shot before,
Okay.
but I quite literally feel like a shock of pain jolt from that tooth and spread all around my jaw in an instant.
Like,
Uh,
when you, like, bite a piece of food or something there?
yeah.
Hmm.
And that's how it was for the tooth that got worked on, but a lot worse. Because at some point, because there was a hole in the tooth that was just exposed, I got a dry socket in the tooth. For
Dry
those who don't know,
socket.
dry socket typically is whenever you get a tooth worked on or like a tooth pulled out specifically, like your wisdom teeth per se. Dry socket happens whenever there's like a vacuum kind of thing, like somewhat of a vacuum goes to that tooth, and basically your tooth is inflamed or your gums are inflamed, and it basically pulls like suctions on it and causes very very intense pain. But the
That
thing with me was it was doing that, but for the nerve.
wait, so what is causing the it's dry?
No, no, no. It's
Wait,
called
maybe I don't understand
Hold
this.
on. It's just called dry socket. Pretty much, it's a painful condition that occurs when tooth extraction. It occurs when the blood clot that normally forms in the socket after
Jesus.
extraction dislodges or fails to form properly. And oh, that's right. It exposes the nerves and the bones.
Oh my god, why did I Google images of this? Oh.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
it's rough. It's very bad. And basically, there's no protection between your nerve or your bone and the rest of the world. So sometimes if you breathe the wrong way, or not really breathe, but like I've noticed that like I'll just randomly just like suck up or like vacuum in my mouth. Like if like I've got spit in there, whenever you swallow, there's a little bit of a suction in there. Whenever you drink from a straw, things like that, that can cause the dry socket to act up.
Oh,
And when that
Jesus.
happens, that was probably the worst pain that I had out of all the pain for everything that I had. The other part of it was because again there was just a hole in my tooth. If anything that wasn't room temperature water or room temperature salt water got into that tooth, God, I wanted to kill myself.
Oh my
And I'm being
god.
so serious because that pain is unrivaled from anything else I've ever like, compared to the other pain of just, like, chewing something and then the nerve pain happening, that was still better than whenever food got stuck in there, especially when it got stuck and it was
Ooh.
constant, or
Yeah.
whenever something that wasn't, again, room temperature. And when I say room temperature, I mean if it was maybe 10 degrees cooler or hotter than room temperature water, it would be the worst pain of my life.
That is just bad.
Yeah, so you can see why I didn't really care what they would do, what a root canal
Yeah.
procedure was, because I had to deal with that point to where it was that for a good like 2 or 3 months.
I will sometimes get, like, because I use very abrasive toothpaste, right, to try and do the whitening part of the
Yeah,
teeth whitening care stuff, and it can make my teeth a little sensitive.
your teeth feel sensitive.
Yeah, it makes you a little sensitive, so, like, if I drink really cold water, there's a slight twinge, right?
I mean, you might just be like wearing down your enamel,
Well, that's
low
basically
key.
what it's doing, with
That's
the
not
super.
good.
Well, that's how it works.
I
Is it
see.
is it it's super abrasive, so it scrapes off the sort of outside protection, but then it
Hmm.
also helps repopulate. The dentists have always assured me that's fine, right?
I don't
That's
know,
like
man. I don't
par
think
for the
enamel
process.
regrows, dude.
Well, maybe it's not enamel, but it's like the sort of the exterior coat, right? The very
Hmm.
last layer is being scraped and, I don't know, cleaned, and then because it remakes itself, right?
I suppose. I suppose.
I can only imagine that's like not maybe a hundredth of the pain that you.
Oh, absolutely. Listen.
Probably not even close. I'm like, ooh, that's a little
Yeah.
sensitive. And then like the next day, right? No, maybe like an hour later, it's fine.
Ooh,
Where I
ooh,
can drink that water just
ah,
fine and it's
ooh.
not a problem.
Oh, I'm good now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of like
Yeah.
you accidentally maybe burn your tongue a little bit. That's, I guess, the
I
feeling
get
that I would
that.
say close.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemies, let me tell you that. I'm being so
Yeah.
serious. I
Yeah.
would not wish this actually, I would wish this on my worst enemies. Fortunately, I don't have any worst enemies. I don't have any enemies.
You
So,
you pull out your magic wand, you go, I hope your teeth rot in your mouth.
I mean, hopefully they don't have money so they have to struggle to pay for things like I did.
Oh, there's also the monetary, emotional aspect of it.
Oh, listen, this
Yes, I
has been
am
the
in intense pain, and I am having to earn the money that I'm using to
this is
pay for
quite literally
this.
my biggest stressor in my entire life right now
I
is
yeah,
paying for this dental stuff.
I believe it.
But if everything goes the way that I'm hoping, then I'll have everything done and situated by June, and I won't have to worry about this anymore.
Okay, alright. I'll
Uh,
knock on wood for that.
yeah. Also, my dentist said that you want to use soft brushes for your teeth, not hard brushes. So I don't know. I
Soft
don't
brush,
know.
what's a hard brush?
Like, in terms of
Like the
like how hard the
bristles?
bristles. Yeah, you want
Oh.
to use like soft and like very soft kind of brushes because teeth are sensitive, I guess. I don't remember. But I've been using that ever since, using whatever one they gave me, because the one I had was pretty tough, honestly.
It usually at least for the ones that I have, they kinda start. I don't know how tough is, but they're
I
at least
also don't know.
rigid, and then they slowly get, like, softer over time,
Yeah, I don't know if
and
that's a
then
good
that's
thing.
usually when I toss them out is when the bristles start, bending.
Hmm.
Because they tell you, at least they told that, goes around with a lot of hygiene stuff, is you can only use it a certain amount of times, like a loofah, right? Or like a sponge.
Yeah.
They go bad. Supposedly they go bad, but isn't it just plastic anyway? And isn't that
In a
probably, why is
sense.
nobody talking about the microplastics? I've
Well, we
been
don't need
I've
to
been
bring those back up again.
I've been freaking out. What do you mean bring them back up?
Nothing, nothing,
They're
nothing.
still there. They're always happening. I see stuff every day that they're like discovering about microplastics. where, it's like, don't microwave food in plastic dishes. Don't
Yeah.
cut on plastic cutting boards with
Don't microwave
knives.
styrofoam.
But that's also true. Or metal. Don't microwave a lot of things. Do
Yeah.
porcelain or porcelain? What do they make
I
plates
think
out of?
porcelain's good. I think
Porcelain,
that's
I think, is like
porcelain.
super expensive
'Cause, like, porcelain
plate.
is what they use for, like, toilets and stuff.
Yes. Ooh,
I
I
think
didn't think
that's
about that. Is that why they say you could eat off of that toilet? Because it's made of the same thing that my plate's
I
made
think
out
it's
of?
because it's supposed to be clean, but I would never. They also say don't eat where you shit, so
That's very true. Yeah.
John,
But
John,
like
John, John, John.
tea bags. If you make a
Hold
tea
on.
bag,
Yeah?
millions of microplastics. They get in your balls.
Not your balls. Uh,
But
give me a
but
second.
furious
I'm
typing.
typing something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep talking, keep talking.
Well, when you were talking, okay, when I looked up that was a picture of a root canal, I don't even know what I looked up. I freaked out so much that I googled cat pictures. So my whole second monitor is just cat pictures.
Oh, that's fair. You had
Oh,
to get some eye bleach?
isn't that guy cute? He's a little white and orange cat. He's got his hand up in front of his mouth. He's squinting at me.
Yeah.
I,
Uh,
he's saying tee
so,
hee.
well, hey, it's looks like we're well over the mark today
Yeah,
because
we
I was
we
talking about
overshot.
my bad, y'all. I might
What do you
we
do?
might
What do
need
you
to
think?
put
Do you want to
a
go?
content
You want to
warning.
go 30 more minutes, and we could split it up into 2 episodes.
I don't think so because the last 30 minutes was me talking about my teeth problems.
That's true. Are we special episoding the back half of this, or are we just gonna
Well,
chunk
we'll see. We'll
release?
see how we'll see when it starts.
Fair enough. All right. Well, we should probably cut it here then.